Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. I'm one of your hosts, Geovanna Burgess White, with my co-host,
Yvette Valdenegro. Happy almost end of October, closing out 2024 and our series. And this has been amazing and keep taking it away. But I was just like, wow, this is great. Love it.
Well, I just want to make sure we were live on Instagram, and it says we are, but we're not. So we shall find out because I got one thing saying yes and one thing saying no.
Okay, well, I'll keep talking.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so this is the fourth episode in our series for October, and today we're going to be talking about our favorite, well, one of our favorite topics. I feel like this is mine. This has been my whole thing, balance and flow. And Geo, that word flow is everything, and we're going to talk about that. But it's really been a month of mental health and balancing things out and paying attention to yourself and I kind of feel like it was like a refocus of like what all that really means, which leads us to just the whole balance of life, the practicalities of it and the things that we just don't do. And more importantly, the things that we're not being in all of that. Did you get us connected?
It says we are, but I don't see it going. It's okay. We'll do a replay on Instagram. So yeah, if you didn't watch episodes 1 through 3, go back because they do flow. It gets you to balance and flow. So go back. We talked about the dreaded B word, which was boundaries. We talked about mental health, which was really important, and just really even though it's a long mini series, it's just important because these are all practical things that if you just do one thing from each episode, it takes time. We get it, but we're here to help you with the practicality, and then obviously, we're here to help you further down the road as well. So today we are going to talk about the balance and flow and creating harmony in your weekly routine. And if you haven't seen the others, you can still watch this episode now, but it is the Elevate Your Everyday series. This is like every day, not like once a month, not I'm just going to do it for a week, like every single day. So it is part of a 4 parts. And today is kind of like us closing it out and moving into a new month. And I love that we did this in October because if people watch the replay in November and December and January, I think this is going to really help them with the season and going into the new year.
Well, and I do want to add, I'm just thinking this right now. I watch the Today Show like at least 4 out of 5 times during the week. And for those of you that are Today Show fans and Hoda Copy, she's leaving the Today Show, and they didn't say what she was doing forever, and they just announced this last week. And I love this. She's getting off the space of actually being more like news anchor type, and she's going down the whole rabbit trail of health, mental health, balance, and what it means, as she calls, a movement of really honing in on self-care and all the different avenues, because she's been researching on behind the scenes and loves everything that she's learned for herself, which again, just supports. It's not the Geo and Yvette show. It's not like, oh my gosh, there is a movement out there. And since COVID, I think it's just been heightened because I think that people were so secluded and they really did get to self-reflect on what's going on. But even someone like a Hoda Kotb, who she's a very famous and what we would think of as very successful woman, says to herself, I really love where this movement is going. And she wants to be one of the forefront leaders leading it. So I think everything we're going to share today, I am sure she's going to be indulging in different areas. But like Geo said, this isn't I'll try it for a week and let's just see how it goes. These are things that, like Geo said, if you just take one little element and incorporate it into your day, and over time, see what it does for you, and then add on different things that mean and speak to you. Again, over time, with repetition, you are going to see a change in your life.
Yeah. And what we'll do is when we do the blog for this series, we'll make sure we'll have a list of tools and resources on the blog too. So if you're like, I don't want to go watch all 4 episodes, we will do that for you and help you out and do a recap, and then what we believe are the simplest and easiest ways to help you elevate your everyday. And as you know, we always start with a definition. And I love that balance had 4 different definitions depending on like where you were using it in. And I went with the emotional and mental stability because that's just kind of what we're talking about in the last 3 episodes. And it's a habit of calm judgment and behavior. Like simple, right?
Ooh.
But the habit.
I was just going to say, what word jumps out at you?
It's creating the habit. So I love that we prepare, but we're not like over prepared. We love statistics. We love our definitions. We're simple. We want to clarify and help you do this, but we don't like it all happens. The universe is together. Like we're helping you create the habit with each one of these episodes. So if you just do one thing, then you can go back and do another and then another. And then it just becomes your habit and it becomes consistent and becomes part of your DNA. And all we're doing is we're helping you rewire all of the years of the things that you were taught before. So why this episode and why do we want to close out on it? And I love this photo just because, God, we haven't been to the beach in a really long time. So I wanted to just talk about life-work balance, self-care, which we talked about in the last few, mental health, creating a weekly routine that boosts productivity. But also this is not just about work. Like if you know us, you know work is important, but we have turned the corner in the last like 2 years and we really put life first and us first and the relationship with how we want to feel and be and do. And that's just been a ripple effect with what we get to do for our careers. And we want to help you with that. And we talked about time blocking already and weekly planning, but creating a rhythm that aligns with your goals. And I think that's where most women are like, but work and the kids and my spouse and my community. And like, I got to do all that for them first. No, we're really teaching you that you need to start with you. And what are you doing with your time? What are you doing for yourself? And is it aligning with your now goal? Like what's happening now? And is it aligning with your future goals? And if it's not, then it's time for you to stop, pause, and rethink what you're doing in life. Okay. So a few reasons why we're doing this. And I love, this was the first, and again, this is all statistics, and this was what came up first for why it's important for us to have balance and flow.
Well, I think it was interesting that it goes straight to managing that balance and flow are important because it manages your hormonal changes. I don't think that we as women really understand how much that affects us. And if we go back to when we were, I don't know, between ages maybe 9 to 16, when people get their cycles, you know, when you're younger and you already think the world is crazy. You already think you're running around. You have no idea when things hit you. You're like, all of a sudden you're so emotional and people go, oh, it's just because they're so young, or maybe it's because your hormones are changing. We don't consider that same thing once we get older, because I feel like we're more established, or that we we seemingly seem so much more grounded, but that we don't understand that maybe if you had an off day and positive, like you can be extra happy or whatever, that we're not really considering that it's a chemical reaction that is going on in our body. I don't know why we don't talk about it, but we do need to talk about it, but that it can really affect your mood in one way or the other, and your motivation one way or the other, so that you don't understand, why am I getting up one day and I'm like, ugh, and the next day I wake up going, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. And trying to figure out, did I do something different? What's really going on? Which in all reality, because that starts to stress you out because you don't know what's going on. And anybody when you don't know something, the direct result of that is that you start to wonder, worry, and then the fear comes in, which brings in anxiety. So obviously the flow can really help with this. And then it just helps your overall sense of well-being. Do you have a definition of flow in here?
Didn't.
Okay. So when I think of flow, because there's a lot of people that teach this out there, but when I think of flow, I literally think of like, if we're just our bodies and there's things coming in, whether it's coming in our brain, our heart, our soul, our ears, like all of our senses. And then there's those things are always coming out. Flow to me is when there's not something blocking that. And it can just be a little thing. Like I think of a pipe, and you think of like, say you've been in a house for 75 years. Well, those are old pipes. And then you have to hire the person to come in and plunge the pipes out and make sure that the water, goes to and from. Kind of the same thing. As we get older, I don't know if this is a good analogy. Our pipes need to, but anyway, you get the concept that it's like the flow. If anything's in there that's going to stop that just perfect feeling of the water coming out, or your emotions, or how you think and feel, those blockages, that's where you start to create the worry, the anxiety, the fears, the wonder, and you start going, why doesn't this seem natural? What's stopping me? But you can, and we could do a whole different podcast on this. What am I trying to say? Because I don't want to use the pipe analogy.
Look, our behind the scenes team gave us a definition.
Oh, great. Okay, what is it? Where is it?
The action or fact of moving along in a steady, continuous stream.
There you go. Stream, water. There you go.
You did it. That's the perfect definition. I don't want to go with yours. Other things that balance and flow are important for women. Again, that's specifically for women, and it's important for men too. But we are all about coaching women and the movement around women. So being more creative and productive. And again, it's all in order of statistics being like mood balance. And we talked about our hormonal balance in the last few episodes, like sleep being extremely important. And I've been doing a lot of research on sleeping because, again, when I was in my 20s, it was like, oh, you'll sleep when you're dead. Like, you're in your 20s. You can, you're young. But I feel like it has affected not only the last 20 years of my life because I didn't prioritize it, but it's also affected the mindset of I don't have to explain why I want to sleep 8 to 10 hours a day. But when I do have to explain it, it's important to have the facts and understanding because men don't need as much as we do. Men can go with 6 to 8 and women can need 8 up to 10. So every episode that we've talked about, sleep has been part of that. And being creative and more productive comes when you're rested. And I've met women, I have met women who are like, oh my God, I don't need that much time or sleep. It's a proven fact. You do. You may have other supplements, you may be doing things that are helping with that, but it is a proven statistic that the minimum hours that women need to sleep are 8 up to 10. Also balancing, this all goes back to work, family, and self-care. If you don't do this, you're not going to have time for you. And then you won't have time for your other relationships. And again, doing things that your responsibilities, yes, and we understand you need to do them, but you got to prioritize your health and your mental health. And then being in the moment. I love this one. Like being present. We've all been in the seasons, and some of us are probably still in it, where you're just, it's the constant wheel, right? The hamster wheel. You get up, you wake up, you do the same thing, you get dressed, you do your, brush your teeth, you go, the kids, and you're on the phone, the emails, someone's talking to you, you're not really listening, and you're just like, it's one day after the next, and you've never been able to be in the moment. You're always worried about what happened in the past, and talking about all the things that already happened that you can't change, or you're so worried about the future that you're like, I'm doing all these things well, what if you don't have it tomorrow? So really learning how to be immersed and be present in the moment.
Okay, I just thought of something, particularly my age group, we are always looking for the latest and the greatest things to help us with anti-aging.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If someone said to walk through the door right now and go, Yvette, what is the number one thing you feel like has really helped you anti-age? This whole balance and flow thing, because it's a release. No matter what it is you need in your life, no matter what you're going through, when you, like the pendulum keeps doing this in life, right? Because stuff happens. But if you're working towards like, I want to be balanced and I want to be in flow, which the only way to get there is what we were talking about, your definition. It's a smooth stream. Anything that's blocking that stream, that's where you cause like the friction that's going on inside of you. So look at the things we've just talked about: sleep, anxiety, stress, lack of flow, and the hormones. Those are all aging factors.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's like, maybe it's not the latest and greatest cream, it's not something you're going to go spend $1,000 on. It is literally working from the inside out.
It's giving you the gift of time. And I don't ever feel like I feel like I look my age, which is 42, which I think 42 is a beautiful age, but everyone thinks I'm really young. And it is prioritizing my sleep. It used to be something I negotiated, right? It'd be like, okay, if I stay up all night, then I can sleep in all day, another day. But it doesn't work like that. And you may get your rest and you may get those hours back in sleep, but it's not the right sleep. And then those other 2 days, were you present? Were you in the moment? Were you in a good mood? Were you having a good time? Like, you're probably thinking, I'm exhausted. I'm extremely exhausted. All right, so we always like to give resources. And this is all at home resources. So we start with books, and these are all great books. But one of my favorites, which I've read 3 times already, is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Essentialism, and The Power of Full Engagement. So these are 3 great books. And if you don't like to read, they're audiobooks as well. And in our last few episodes, we have other tools and resources like for journaling, meditation, things that you can use on the day-to-day. We all know that I love my calendar, and calendar integrity is huge. So your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you're using on your phone. If you're not using a Google or Apple or whatever calendar you love digitally, and also like one that you can open and look at, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to remember everything. If you run a business, if you have kids, if you have a life without a calendar, it's not going to work. Notion or Trello, and there's tons of stuff on the back end, and the to-do list if you want something for weekly structure in your phone.
Wait, can you go back? Is that a typo? It says Todoist. Is that a thing? I've never even heard of what?
I think it's a typo. I'll have to
because
it's to-do list. It's on app on your phone for your weekly structure.
Oh yeah, I know what that is, but I was like, what the heck is to do it? Honestly, me being I love doing the checkbox. I'm like, I'm gonna go look at that, but I'm like, wait, but then you said to-do list. I was like, wait, what?
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a typo. Sorry, people on our team on the back end. You're gonna get to go through these, or
sure. Yeah. Okay, so productivity techniques, things that you can do. The Pomodoro technique, which is basically time intervals to stay productive. So you just pick, and of course, this is based on who you are. Some people can go a stretch of 2 hours. I think they say the best is like 90 minutes. Don't go past 90 minutes. But some people can kind of push it if they need to, because that's just the way their brains work. Other people, and this is why, if you've ever noticed, and of course, this is so archaic, but most classes educationally only last 50 minutes. Because your brain goes, okay, I'm on overload. I got the nuggets and I'm done. Past that, you need a break. That's why you walk to class. You go grab a snack or whatever, come back to your desk and work. Weekly planning.
You can use a timer. You don't need your phone. Oh, I need my phone for my timer. You can buy yourself a timer. My bird actually makes this noise out of the timer, and 90-minute intervals, and then 15-minute breaks to eat, drink, and move. I promise you, this goes away, and I can do my 90-minute intervals, and you're shorten your day, your work day. It's fantastic. Okay.
Weekly planning template. A printable planner to map weekly tasks. Okay, for those of you that are like me, I love a visual. That's why when I had to convert, and do you remember that? I think I had like 5 million planners. From paper to online was like pulling my teeth. But it helped me to get organized. However, I still have that process of I have to see it, even if it's on my phone, even if I have to print it out, like especially if we have a busy week, I'm like, okay, let me just print this out, because I am a visual learner and I connect to things visually. So do what works for you, but being able to actually have the template and something you can print, if that works, go for it. Okay, maybe you need a bullet journal to organize, set goals, and then you can reflect. So it's a lot more concise. Journaling and reflection. You can get a gratitude journal, which I'm going to say right now, I'm going through my own personal processes of things right now. I never thought adding another journal would be helpful. I thought it'd be very confusing and like, oh my God, another thing. But the reason I think I like the gratitude journal is because it's more focused. You take the time to just reflect on positive mindset and things that you're really grateful for, and you don't even go into anything else. That's it. So it's like you just get your own moment of like, what am I really grateful for? And I like that. And then a weekly review template, reflect on your past week and make adjustments, which I'm going to go straight into number 3, because it's all in
You can do it all.
Look, mine's right here. I'm going to do a nice little, this is today's work, but this is the beautiful journal. It has in here already all the pages mapped out for you and sections. Wait, I just did this. Where's this? This was the weekly reflection that turns into, because, you know, for 4 weeks, which turns into your monthly reflections. Again, I love these things because I'm like, if anybody wants to talk to me, I get it. I get the sitting down, taking the time, being disciplined. It is like, oh my gosh. But once you get into flow, I'm not kidding you. It's something I crave now. I don't even want to start anything until I go, no, because it's a way for me to process it all together, to balance things out, know where, like, what was great yesterday, what am I doing today, what am I looking forward to in the future, and balance things out. Again, visual. If I didn't have that, it'd be a lot harder for me. I'd be in stress mode or anxiety of like, what am I forgetting? And I don't know if I have enough time. And what if that person needs this? I don't have all those thoughts anymore.
And you can go to our resource page to order your YGC Daily Journal. And if you even want more, we have in the links wherever you're watching a community that you can join for $7.77 a month. A little plug. And we have a daily message. So if you're like, I've never done this, I don't even know where to start, that's where it goes. We prompt you with the daily message. There's gratitude, there's journaling, there's daily, there's weekly, and we can help guide you through that. And that's like our main goal, is beginning and ending the day with you, which has been part of every single one of these episodes. A couple more, like I say, because wait, there's more. If you want, and this is also in our previous 2 podcast, but Calm or Headspace apps, if you're wanting to have guided meditation. And I do use the Calm app. I think it's fantastic. I'm not a meditator, but I will use that because it's guided and you can pick and choose your vibe, your energy. There's Yoga with Adrienne. It's free yoga sessions, which I think is fantastic. And you can do body mind sessions there. And then if you are health and fitness and you really want to focus on that relationship, your Fitbit or your phone, Apple Health will help. And MyFitnessPal are great to monitor wellness for every day. And that really does help you with track, just like, hey, you need to take a break. You need to do some breathing, right? It's time for you to log off. Like, I love it when it's done. Like, I'm done. My app tells me I'm done. And then obviously our podcast, because we love it and we think it's fantastic. And we have so many, this is our 126th episode. So we have so many things. So if you're like, Geo, Yvette, I need help with time management. I need help with boundaries. I need help with loving myself. You name a relationship, and I promise you, we probably have it in the 126. And if we don't, we will make an episode for you. The Productivity Show is a great podcast too, and that's tips for work-life harmony. And Getting Things Done is another great podcast, and those are great for productivity and balance strategies. And so what we try to do is give like a different vibe and energy for each one of these books, apps, podcasts, so that you can go find what you want to listen to and be part of. This was from the last one. See, I always love doing these slides because I kind of felt like this was part of Balance and Flow too. I kept this only slide from the last one. And we don't really have to go over it because it was part of the last 3. But no phones at a certain time. It's always a challenge in our household, with every single one of us. Beginning and ending your day with you. And it says 15 to 30 minutes here, but we said it in episode 2, even if it's 5 and 5. And learning the word no. How to say no. And you don't have to give a whole, like, no is a whole sentence. You don't have to tell them the why. You can just say no. And there's 2 great things. I'm not available right now, or I'm going to need to pass on that right now. That's it. We always end with a beautiful quote.
True balance isn't about dividing time equally. It's about aligning your time with what truly matters, creating a flow, I love that word, that nourishes both productivity and peace.
Yep. So this is important because there's seasons, many seasons. I think we forget that we don't talk about it. We don't teach ourselves about it. In different seasons, you have different time, and sometimes you think you have more than another, but it's not about it dividing it. It's, again, aligning it to what matters to you, what truly matters, what aligns, what are your goals for yourself, because every other relationship will fall into place, and the ones that were not supposed to be there will end, and that's okay because they're meant to be. That's a season of friendship, and it's okay to have closure and move on. So that was the end of our mini series. I can't believe it.
I can't either. I can't believe that's what you see my face when you said 126 episodes. I went, what?
Yeah,
I love it.
It's crazy, but I love it. We'll come back next month. As you know, it's the YGC time to start to rebalance and restructure for 2025. So we will probably not have 4 episodes next month, nor the month after that. And that's totally fine because we teach you exactly what we do. And it is the month of gratitude, and we are going to be talking about gratitude next month. And then we haven't decided what we're doing for December yet, but you know we always have our end of the year show in our pajamas, and we love that show.
Okay, one thing though, I remember last year as we go into the holiday season, we did a whole thing on boundaries with families and the whole holiday everything. I think that would be a phenomenal thing, even if we just keep pushing that, or if anybody's listening to this and like, it's just great reminders of how to enter into the holiday season.
Yes.
And that was last year.
I love that. And if you're needing more or you want to jump on a consultation, we are still doing consultations through the end of the year. We will be taking new clients in 2025. We are not taking any more clients through this year, but we would love to get you set up with a consultation, give you some free tools and resources, and start to create your roadmap on how to begin 2025 with you. So we'll be back next week, next month. Until then,
yay.
Bye.
Bye.